Hi. Welcome back, Andrea.
Thank you.
Please sit down. Come on. Jim, Sharon, Caroline. Hi, welcome back.
Pat, how you doing?
Good to see you all. Caroline.
Hi, Pat.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And last but not least, how are you, Sharon? Sit
Good,
down
thanks.
there. It's been a hectic few days, what?
Yeah.
Certainly has.
Big launch in Luttrellstown Castle. Where was the first album launch? Can you remember? Or did it just escape?
It just escaped. We didn't actually have an official
We didn't have an
launch.
official one for Ireland, no.
And Luttrellstown is a very swish place, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
People in from all over the world, kind of, for this launch. Where do they come from?
We had them in from everywhere, basically. Like it was press or it was representatives from all the record companies, just to see us showcase the new album.
Yeah, and you've picked up a whole pile of awards, gold albums and all theirs. And the new one has already gone gold somewhere.
In Spain, yeah. And in one day, it went gold. It's just delighted.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to you about the process of the second album in a minute. But first of all, in case you thought that we've forgotten you here, you don't know anything about this, but this is for 9 times platinum in Ireland on the first album. Do you know it's still selling hundreds and hundreds of copies every week in the shops, your first album?
It's crazy.
It's amazing. It just keeps popping up in the charts again.
Yeah. By the way,
It won't die.
I've been told there's one for every member of the group, not the audience, but one for every member of the group. Yeah, 9 times platinum. It's an astonishing. It must be one of the best-selling records of all time in the country.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Now the second album. Nervous about it? The single came out a couple of weeks ago, or about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. Were you nervous about where it was going to go?
Yeah, we were. I mean, it was the old second album syndrome, as a lot of people say. It's tough when you have to try and exceed what you've done on the first album, or at least get as good as that. And because Forgiven Not Forgotten had sold 2 million sales, well, it was quite terrifying to have to go in and do another album after it.
Yeah. The writing process, clearly when you did your first album, you had lots of songs from your childhood, in fact, stored up, ready to go. But suddenly you're on the road and you have to fit in songwriting in the middle. You've done a lot of songwriting on this current album, the new album, haven't you, Andrea?
Well, I mean, we all have. I wrote a lot of the lyrics, but we all have.
So how do you do it? How do you fit it in when you're on the road?
Well, to be honest, we didn't really. I mean, we were working so hard that, you know, it was very difficult. I mean, the last thing you wanted to do is go and write a song, you know, by the end of the day,
and
while
yet
we were
there's somebody
touring.
egging you on, saying, "Look, we need it. We're going to studio."
Well, we did some. I mean, I think there was 2 that are on the album that were written on the road, and but other than that, I mean, we spent 5 months doing this record, and some of the songs were simultaneously written and then recorded for the record. So
literally write the song in there, do it.
yeah,
And then on to
some
the
of
next
them,
one.
you know, I mean, sometimes it works like that, but a lot were written after touring. Yeah.
The process of recording this time, was it very different, Sharon, to the last time? I mean, you were an unknown quantity, having battered your way into the offices of a very eminent record producer in New York. You were an unknown quantity. This time, your track record was there.
This time, I think for us, it was a little easier to actually go into the studio. Because the first time, you know, we had never really performed in front of people, and you know, hadn't really been out of Dundalk, and then to go all the way over to Malibu in LA and, you know, be produced by a man like David Foster with a track record like his, like, it was intimidating, you know. It was kind of, I was afraid to pick up my violin in case I'd, you know, embarrass myself, you know. But this time, because of the confidence we'd gained from touring for a full 1.5 years non-stop, you got into the studio and you just did your best, and you didn't think about who you were with or how special they were.
You haven't abandoned the sort of Celtic, the traditional motif. I mean, it's in there all the time. Is that deliberate, Jim? Do you think that's part of the charm?
Well, it's our sound, definitely, and it helps to, I suppose, give us a unique edge. I don't think we'd ever lose it, because it's, for us, it took a while to sort of get that blend, that marriage of pop and rock and traditional Irish music, which works for us. Obviously, it's worked.
But you can do it on stage, which is the great thing, without having to have massive rigs. Because we were all involved in a charity thing that raised, how much did it raise? Can you remember? 1.4 million pounds in one night. And these people were there, like, giving their time in the middle of recording to perform. But 1.4 million. But you did it on stage in the most primitive circumstances, and it sounded terrific.
Yeah.
High points and low points of the last couple of years. The high points?
Well, I think the high points are, you know, like everything's high. You know, every day is so full. You get to like travel the world and meet all, you know, loads of new people, loads of new cultures, and I mean, there's never a dull moment, you know. But I would say a low point is one of the papers today. It said nasty things about us. It said we were bland.
You personally or bland?
We're bland.
Land on the run.
Oh well.